Hey everybody, welcome back to the desk. Slightly different view today. It is an overcast Friday afternoon and I just cannot get started today. I'm on my third cup of coffee. I wanted to talk about something that's super important. As an outdoor educator and a former paramedic and someone that teaches wilderness medicine, I deal a lot with people who work in search and rescue and things like that. And I hear everyone's story about how they got lost in the woods. And so I want to sort of pull all that stuff together and talk a little bit about the 5 things that people do that get them lost in the backcountry. Cool, so let's do that. Number 1, they bend the map. Bending the map is a concept that comes from a book called Deep Survival. I've actually got a copy of it right here. This is an awesome book by Lawrence Gonzalez. Bending the map, it's something that people do in the backcountry when things aren't going as they plan for them to go. And so it's the guy who walks over the hill and expects to see a lake, and a campsite on the far side of the lake is where he's meeting his buddy, and the lake's not there. And bending the map is when he says, well, the map must be wrong. It must be over the next rise, and they keep walking. That's bending the map. It's seeing the world around you and deciding that that the information you have is wrong, but you're still right. It's bending the world to meet your perception. Huge problem. That's what keeps people walking and walking and walking when they get lost in the woods, when they should stop and figure out what it is they should be doing. Hi. You're not gonna let Daddy work? No? Okay. Hi. Yes, I know. Good girl. Number 2, they don't keep track of where they are. When I teach a map and compass class, the first thing I tell people is find yourself on the map, figure out where you are, and then keep track of it. Keep the map oriented so that north on the map is lined up with north in the real world, and that the mountains on your left are on the left side of the map, and everything will be easy. If you keep track of where you are, you won't get lost. It's what we call staying found. But what most people do is they don't pull out the map until they're already lost. You've got to figure out where you are and keep track of where you are as you're hiking. As you build that sort of mental map in your head of where you are and what's around you, it gets far easier to keep track of where you are. You're less likely to get lost. Number 3, people don't start with a plan. They say, I'm going to go here and I'm going to get on this trail. And that's where the plan stops. You've got to look at a map or a chart if you're paddling or sailing or whatever and say, this is where I am, this is where I need to be at a certain time. If I'm not there at a certain time, I need to turn around. What goes along with that is telling people where you're going. In paddling, we talk about float plans. You should be doing that sort of thing every time you do a trip. My daughter, when she's going backpacking, she texts me when she's leaving, a photo of the map and the route and when she'll be back. Generally, she forgets to call me when she's back, but I call her, so it's okay. Have a plan. Know where you're going, when to turn around, know when you're coming back, and tell someone about it. The next thing that people do is they lose track of time. I will not hike without a watch on, and super important. You need to be able to say, oh, I covered that last mile in an hour and a half or in 20 minutes, depending on the terrain and your speed. And if your plan Go lie down. Good girl. People lose track of time. They don't know what time it is. They don't know what time they left. They don't know what time they're coming back. That, combined with not having a plan, it's no good. People don't watch the weather. That is the single biggest thing, and that's a bigger deal for paddlers. Really messes up your day. So you got to pay attention to the weather. I wear a watch with a barometer which gives you very localized weather information. You can also, of course, there's 8 million apps you can use. I also carry a VHF radio when I'm paddling, primarily for weather broadcasts. So those are the 5 things that people do that get them lost in the backcountry. Don't do those things. I got a lot of good material coming. Hit the like button if this works well for you. Hit the subscribe button. I should point out, Deep Survival I talked about. A lot of this stuff is also in my book, Go, which is on Amazon. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Stick around. We got a lot going on. Super excited for the coming year. All right. See you outside.